just a little update video because it's been like a week. Weeks seem to go by like so fast. Anyway, those of you that have been watching my videos and stuff, I filled them in with bricks. I dug it out, filled it with bricks. I could shoo it away and show you some bricks, but I put bricks in there where that hole was. And if you remember in this previously when I was cleaning this garage out, it had all the big cracks from the water getting in. Now that must be where the either there was a mouse hole where the water was coming in, kept opening it, or that's just a natural defect outside that is behind the wood pile that was allowing water to make its way that way. It looks like for the most part it's doing a good job of diverting the water. And as of right now, my little mouse buddy, I haven't seen him in here, and it's been like since my last video. And I got a cube right here. What can I do to even make this channel make this channel even enjoyable for people? I drive around on my motorcycle. I drove around the other day for almost 3 hours in 2 days. I didn't see one thing that stuck out enough to be like, I'm going to put that on camera in this town. Then what do you create? There is fucking nothing in this town. My dad's at Big Bull Blues Fest in Wausau. It's been going on for 38 or 40 years now. It's they bring in big blues bands and fantastic. It's always a whole scene with these old mill guys, and anybody that knows them knows it. It's always about how much money can we save, and this guy's going to try to use a coupon that's 2 years old for a free entry into the Big Bull Blues Fest. Over $15. And they didn't rent a motel room, so they're going to drive 2 hours, hour and a half down to Wausau and an hour and a half back tonight. I don't want to do any of that shit. If I'm going, I want to go have fun. I want to party. I want to stay at a motel, and I could do it all myself, but I don't want to. I'm not going to sit there and fucking for 5 hours and then sip on a beer, and I'm going to have fun or I'm not going. So I'm just like, no way. I've learned my lesson over the years. These mill guys, these old-time Fort Howard workers and stuff are something else with their penny pinching, man. I mean, I don't hardly have any money, and I'm the first one. I'll throw out $100 to have fun. These guys, they're worried about $10. It's just crazy to me. And every one of them's got 3 divorces where they lost $500,000. Everyone in Green Bay, go ask around. 60 to 70% of all the guys that worked at the mill have at least 2 or 3 divorces. They've all made a couple $1 million in their life, and they've all lost over half of it. Over half. Maybe they got 30% left. And you want to go somewhere with them, and they worry about $5. It's nuts. They'll sneak beers in their socks. It's a culture. That's what it is. It's a fucking culture of these mill guys. And then they wonder, no offense, I'm not fucking picking on nobody and whatever if I come off shrewd and sound like an asshole. Well, of course, whatever. I sound like an asshole. It's whatever. But it's like, no wonder they get divorced. I mean, I remember when I can't even remember because my dad and mom were only together for a year or two, but I remember hearing the stories or my brother and sisters and stuff where they go somewhere on a family vacation. I never did, but they go somewhere on family vacation. They'd be having the little kids sneak beers in and sneaking in the hotel room so they don't have to pay for the kids, so they can pay a single night fare. And they wonder why these people's wives got sick of that shit and just said, I'm over it. And these guys are making some of the best money in town. They're polluting every river. Every fucking river they're getting paid. These guys were getting paid $30 and $40 an hour back in the 80s. You don't even get that pay now. When houses were $60,000, they were making $40 an hour. Some of them, my dad's friends were 30 some bucks an hour to pollute all the rivers, literally to pop a hatch and dump all the wastewater into the Fox River. And they were worried about paying the extra $5 because they had kids with them, sneaking them into hotel rooms. The shit's just outrageous. So I called my dad. I was all pumped up, full of energy. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make a day with my dad. I'm gonna do I'm going to have dad time or whatever. Like, I'm going to make a bonding experience out of nothing for my father because he loves hanging out with me and shit. And I called him, and I'm telling you, I was thoroughly wore out with the bullshit within 5 minutes. I was ready to go back and take a nap after I just woke up. Like the whole, well, you will do this, and we got to get a ride from my cousin who doesn't drink so I don't have to drink and drive. And that's great and everything, but then he's waiting hours for that guy to show up, and then that guy's got to get home, so we have to leave tonight. And the whole thing where it could have just been, my dad should have said to me, you want to make a family, do a father-son experience? Let's get a hotel room together and let's have fun and let's not even worry about the price. And I would have pitched in too. But instead, it was this whole fucking drawn out thing about a 20-point game plan to save $5, and we're all gonna screenshot a picture of old coupon to try to get in for free, and we're not gonna rent a room. We're gonna try to get a guy to drive us sober in the middle of the night, 2 hours back. And I just got to the point almost instantly where I was like, man, just the bullshit I'm listening to wore me out so much. I was ready to go back into bed and curl up and take a nap. That's how much bullshit these guys are on, these old mill guys. And I'm like, fuck that. That's how it is. Most everybody that watches my channel has a dad that worked at the mill too, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a whole fucking ordeal to go anywhere with them. Worked their whole lives to be able to retire. They got Social Security coming in, probably 20-some $100 a month. Most of them are all divorced, so they're single, only taking care of themselves. They got a pension, for Christ's sake, that nobody's got pensions. They got one. They got cash in their bank account, and they're worried about $10 coupons and arguing with different motels. And we'd end up walking 3 miles because I ain't doing it. I'm done. I'm too old for it now. When I was 21, I jumped the fence. Funny story, my dad one time actually jumped the fence at Pulaski Polka Days, got caught on it, and it tore his whole ass cheek off. They had to sew his ass back on. No shit. 100% true. Over a $5 entry fee it was back then. $5 for the weekend in Pulaski, called Polka Days. And him and his buddies had, at the time, he wasn't even divorced the second time, he probably had $1 million. It was $5 to get in. They had to sew his whole ass back on. It ripped right off from jumping the fence. And then they caught his buddy and were going to put him in jail after this. My dad went back out there with a big patch on his ass because it was opening day. So he went back out there to drink. That's how diehard these guys are. And my dad's buddy gets arrested. They let him out eventually, and he got banned from the bar down there. There was only a couple big bars for trying to steal a Packer signature post picture off the wall, frame off the wall the same weekend. His buddy goes to jail. His name was I'll say it because he's dead. All right, so what was his name? Gary Spitzer. The guy would steal leather jackets. Everywhere he went, he would try to steal people's leather. He was just a menace. And he had $500,000, and he would steal people's, he would try to steal people's leather jackets and shit, you know? Like if he'd go to a bar or there was a coat room anywhere, and he worked at the mill his whole life too. He would try to steal people's, he'd go in there without a jacket and try to go in the coat room and take one home. This is just stories. I didn't see that personally myself, but I've been to his house. The guy would live on plywood, so that we're talking about a guy that in the 80s and 90s had $500,000, which is probably like having maybe $3 million right now in your pocket. He lived in an apartment that you would walk in, and the landlord was letting him live for $275 a month. Back when rent was averaging like $1,000 or something for a one bedroom. He was living for $200 a month because the apartment he lived in, he had to put down plywood sheets or you'd fall through into the basement. No kidding. Walked in his bathroom one time, the toilet was just sinking right into the floor. They had it 2x4s underneath it in the basement, propping it up. And the guy, that's just the crazy shit these mill guys would do. I mean, I'm thinking in my head how many stories. It's just unbelievable. The nonsense. We'd go over there and you literally have to stand on 2 2x4s to pee. So you didn't fall into 10 feet into a basement, literally 10 feet too. Because they had all the plumbing and everything underneath the apartment complex just to save a couple bucks. And he ended up dying early, young, poor guy. He ended up dropping dead because his son was screaming at him. His son went to prison for diddling boys. No joke. And he got out of prison and he was screaming at his old man so much his old man couldn't take it no more, went to kick him out, and he dropped of a massive heart attack. And he ended up dying with over $500,000. Who knows how much money that his boy ended up just squandering. His son ended up taking the money and he bought a brand new SUV, was talking to underage boys again. This is what I've seen it. I didn't see that, but I seen and heard from like him and reliable sources that this was the truth. Because I went to the funeral and the SUV he was getting arrested again. And my dad was called to testify. So I know it happened. He bought a brand new SUV with the money, like 50 grand. It was all like specialty because, you know, I'm not saying nothing about a homosexual, but he was homosexual. He wanted it all like, he wanted frills on it. He got $50,000 and he drove it through a 13-year-old boy's family home and went back to prison because the boy was threatening to turn him in or something. And my dad was called to testify because he was trying to tell the cops that he was with my dad at the time that they were claiming he was with this kid and child. I don't know, whatever. I don't know how old the kid was, if he was 15, 4. I don't know the whole story, but I seen the paperwork and my dad said, no fucking way I'm testifying for anything for him. But anyway, that's a true story, 100%. And the guy went and got this expensive $50,000 or whatever, $60,000 SUV. And it was all new rims and stereo system. And the kid kept threatening him, and he drank a whole bottle of vodka and drove it right through the family's front home, right through the front of their house. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but he ended up doing another 7 or 10 years. So he might be just getting out now. Probably just got out if he is out, and he'll be doing the same thing. He can't control himself. True story. I should give you his name. I forgot it. I know his last name's Spitzer. Dang, that was a Speedy Delivery. They are still in business where I used to work in college. See how it says Speedy on the side? With a guy with a, in college I worked there. They were giving us $9 or $10 an hour, and they made us work so hard. My God, I'd have to scrub them because at the time, that was their thing. They wanted to be the best, sharpest looking delivery service around. That was their motto. It never made sense to me. It was always crazy. So I had to take big brushes, and every time they come back from a delivery, I'd be in a warehouse and we'd have to scrub and wash the vehicle because that's why they're all white. They wanted them to be bright, shiny white, no rust, nothing, so that when they go by that, people would say, what a beautiful looking delivery vehicle. And I always thought, that's nuts. Who the fuck would care what a delivery vehicle looks like? Look it up. This is a true story. And I'd get in fights with the boss because there'd be like, if it'd be raining and muddy, I was in college, I'd come there, I was already tired, and I was making $8, $9, $10 an hour, I can't remember. And these fuckers would be on my ass about how it was still not clean enough, and I just went nuts. I just went nuts on the boss. Eventually. I stayed at, I don't know how many months, and I finally just lost it. Me and a kid named Brandon, we were both in electrical program at TC here, which is right here. And then this is just down the road, Speedy Delivery. And I finally fucking lost it. So we'd have to scrub these vehicles. And I'm talking like 25 a night, these big trucks. And I'd be damn near falling asleep just spraying it with a pressure washer instead of actually putting soap on it, you know? And the boss would be giving me shit every fucking day. I don't think you're really putting all you what I really don't think you're giving this company what we know you have as an employee and blah 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 shit every fucking minute. This guy would say some stupid shit to me, and I'd be like, "You fucking cocksucker!" Under my breath, you know. Shut the fuck up. I'll fucking scrub this fucker. There it is. Speedy Delivery. Doesn't look like they still wash them. They probably still do have scrubbers. I don't know. I doubt it, though. How ridiculous was that, though? That they cared so fucking much about scrubbing these vehicles, nobody even gave a shit. I mean, they had like 5 of us on. Listen to me when I tell you. Listen to this. This owner would not fucking quit with the scrubbing of these fucking speedy delivery. What kind of fucking nut says, I'm going to get all white delivery vehicles and we're going to fucking, our whole goal is we're going to try to keep them clean. That's going to be our billboard for the company. It's called Speedy. Just get the shit there on time, right? And it wasn't just like, oh, spray them down. I'm telling you guys, there was 2 different washing processes. Somebody one day when I'm dead and gone is going to watch this video, and some college kid or something in 20 years that's still working for them, and they're probably still doing the same shit, and say it's fucking ridiculous. There was 10 of us on call and on shifts. Like, they would call and go nuts that they didn't have washers. I'm not even kidding. I could have ended up being a driver probably if I stayed there, because it was probably just the start. But I had bigger plans in my life at the time. I was fucking nuts, smoking pot. I didn't give a shit. I didn't want to hear it. And they'd call with these voicemails. Man, I wish I remembered the name of the guy. I think his name was Dave or something. Man. And he'd leave these long voicemails about how because college kids wouldn't show up for their shift, and he'd be saying, we aren't able to use the trucks because they're not washed. And I always was sitting there thinking, you guys need to get help. Seriously, you all need help. Because it was the family working there at the time. It was small. Now it's probably a bigger business. It was only a handful of, like, the son was the manager, and he'd sit in his little office and call me in every time to tell me how, he'd call me in every time to tell me that I wasn't doing a good enough job cleaning every day. And I'd be like, just fire me, man. Just fire me. Literally, just fire me. Can I ever? Look at how far out in the parking lot I am, and I cannot get away from people. And they're giving rice to the birds. You can't get away from people. You can't in this world. I'm way out in the back of Walmart parking lot right now. Somebody gave rice to the, it looks, I can't say for sure if it's rice, but to the birds. You got a guy living in a van. Man, it doesn't matter where you are in this country. People are living in vans, and there's no getting away. I'm in the last spot, one of the last spots in the parking lot, and it's just crazy, man. I know I don't have the right over this. I don't have the right to be over this. Like I own the parking lot or something. And you got these guys walking around just probably looking for something to steal. And no, I don't own the parking lot. You're right. People can do what they want, but it's unrelenting. All I want to do is get away. Because it just brought up the thought of this when I seen that Speedy. Because I went looking for it the other day for the on my motorcycle, because I was gonna say something about it the other day. And I just found it ironic that I ran into one, because it's hard to find that. It's hard to find speedy delivery, because it's just an area thing, and it's hard to find them on location or ever run into them, because there was only like 20 trucks when I worked there, but that was, man, so many years ago. And then me and my buddy, we finally lost it. Hey, we lost it. We looked at our lives and thought, and then we both. Because Brandon, he was from a small town up north called, what was it called? Manitowoc. And we were talking about it, and he lived in a little apartment over here, and we always just brainstormed, like, what the hell can we do? We got to get the hell out of here. So one day we finally did. We just got in the car and drove. Drove until we stopped, until we hit the ocean, and ended up in South Carolina. Charleston, right on the water. Mental health issues. This guy's walking up the hill and he's talking to himself. He's pointing at cars, and Craziness. A lot of people say don't bring your car here for tires and stuff, but I have, and it's no big deal. They'll try to upsell you. Don't listen to them. Say no to everything. But if you're just going to get cheap tires, I got a set of 4 on this car for $300, but they are really cheap. I went to plug that hole on this one with the nail, and it still leaks a little bit. It's almost impossible to get a plug in on one of these tires because the rubber's so thin and cheap. But I paid $300, and it's going on its first year when the snow falls. So, and I've only had a problem with that one tire so far. So, I mean, it is what it is. Nothing's perfect. But if I get a couple years out of these for a few $100, this guy's laughing at me. Talking, he's laughing. He's like, what's this fucking idiot? He was looking at me laughing. What's this moron talking? Nobody gives a shit about you. He gave me that look. You should have seen it. If looks could kill, right through you. Now he's doing some weird ass shit. He's hunting down that other guy. He was hiding and trying to hunt that guy down. Oh, they're both going to the casino. You've seen. I don't have to show you. It's funny how all these people that are downtrodden and bad on their luck, and that he was standing over there, the one guy's living out of a van that doesn't look like it runs, and they're going to the casino. Like, that's the last place you want to go if you're in trouble, is to the casino. And if your life is in real shit, the last place you ever want to be is at that casino. And you tell yourself, oh, I can get free coffee there and that. They got the cups down to this big now of coffee cups. You should see it. It's unreal. Anyway, I got to get in here and do my shopping. These car manufacturers are so sickening. With their lights for like traction control and stuff back, it's probably still the same. Unreal. I have to click reset, on the steering wheel 3 times just to get all the lights off. For stupid stuff, one of your tire pressure sensors is out. There's no way to turn them off that I know of. I don't even think the dealership can. Like, you can turn them off for the day, but there's no way to keep them off. And then the traction control lights, and they got a beep and beep, beep, beep. Unreal. If they would have put that much effort into making a nice car, you wouldn't have any lights on, would you? That's the thing about the 90s and early 2000s, when they didn't have all that junk. They made a better car too. Well, not all of them. I can't say all manufacturers did, but you seen my 90s, my 96 minivan in the driveway. That's probably got 1 million miles on it. You can see my 1989 Nissan there had 500,000 miles on it when it finally had enough. And I mean, it quit all at once. It wasn't like this went out, that went out. It quit at once, and it was like, I'm done. Kaput. Because I went in there, I was going to try to repair it, and it said no. The clutch pedal fell off when I hit it. Every little thing broke off of it at that point. It was done. Pieces of the clutch pad came falling out, and 500,000 miles. 500,000 miles I got out of that Nissan. I didn't, but I got it at 250 or something. So I got an extra 8 years out of it than the guy that got it. Sold it to me for $300, and it had almost 300,000 miles, and it went another 8 years or something. Now these cars are such junk, it's unbelievable. I put so much work into keeping this running at 200,000 miles. So much work in this car. This Fusion. I'll give the 2.5 liters all right, but it had nothing but notorious problems, but it always ran pretty well. The transmission, I've had to do a lot of tearing the valve body apart and stuff like that, and I've had to do a full flushes by myself multiple times, and the clutch packs are old, and it won't last as long as the engine. I got it shifting all right. But I'll be lucky to get another, who knows, 20 to 30,000 miles here. Hopefully a couple years, and then I'll be looking for a Jeep Wrangler or something, but old school that I can work on. I can get right underneath and straddle the transmission and pull the clutch out, and over the top I can stand on the bumper and work on the motor. $200 and I only got that much food back there. I don't know how Americans are going to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm fine. It's whatever. I just cut expenses on almost everything I do in life. You know, there's no more, like, everything I buy now is going to have to be off brand, and all my clothes shopping will be at thrift stores or online. Right? Like, there's all types of things I can do for myself. You know, get all my furniture secondhand. You know, there's a million things I can do. Next year, I'm going to put in a split unit probably system in the house, so I don't have to run the full furnace all year anymore. I was going to do that this year, but too many things came up. There's a million things I can do to minimize, you know, my problems, and I could probably cut my expenses in half if I keep going. I ride the motorcycle almost everywhere I go now. I've only had to fill this tank one time in 2 months. And it finally just hit the where it said I'm at 50 miles a Look at this asshole in this truck. He's going to fucking drive like a dick right up my ass. In a brand new truck, too. For what? Why do they drive like that? I had a friend that drove like that, and one arm Nick, the dude that I went fishing with, would drive like that, and I would just go nuts on him. I said, if you keep driving like that, I'm not riding with you anymore. If you treat people like that, I'm not riding with you anymore. There's nothing gives you the right, just because you have a bigger vehicle, to make people feel uncomfortable. There he is. He's literally gotten absolutely fucking nowhere. Nowhere. And I've turned the camera on, I pulled off the side of the road and stopped, and look at it. We're going to pass him right now. He's gotten absolutely fucking nowhere. 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 You see that? Whatever. It's my biggest pet peeve in life. I don't think it's a question. I think it's my absolute biggest pet peeve. People that treat people like that, it's disgusting. I would never do something like that. Because the only enjoyment a lot of people get, or like peace in their life, is like right now I'm driving home from the grocery store. This is really the only peace in my day. And usually I'm on the motorcycle, so it's really enjoyable. But I'm stuck in the car because I can't carry all these bottles of soda and stuff. It's just not feasible. So I'm stuck in this damn car. And that guy just tried taking the joy away from me, and he takes away joy from all the other drivers that they got no peace in their life. This is it. This is the only peace we got in our day. Nothing. We got no peace whatsoever. Okay? It's always something broken I gotta fix. It's always a job I gotta do. It's always I gotta go here, I gotta go there. It's always I had to run to the grocery store, which is a miserable fucking experience at Walmart. It's fucking miserable, okay? Absolutely fucking miserable. And then I get in the car, like, can I just have a little peace in my life? Just a little. On the drive home. No, there's got to be some commando fucking fucking asshole fucking thinks he's big shit because he's got a truck, making a fucking $1,300 payment a month that he probably can't afford. I don't. It just fucking irritates me. I've said my piece. I don't know what else to say. And the moment I got and started flipping him off, you just pull a gun. You wouldn't get out and fight. So just pull over and let him go by. And then I caught right up to him, and I'm doing 22 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour. He got absolutely nowhere. All that rushing. Like I was telling you before, this town's so fucking boring, I got nothing to say. The only reason people would ever even watch my videos is to just watch me talk. And I really wanted to have some sort of spice and some sort of... Vaping USA never showed up. It never opened up right there on the right because they shut down pot sales. It's ridiculous, this country. Texas went back to it too. It's so ridiculous. Legalize THC and move on. It's because they can't test for it properly. And they can't put people in jail, and they can't fill the jails with people if they can't test for it properly. They can't. The DUIs don't stick if they don't have a proper test. And just leave people alone, man. Let them smoke. This is fucking the USA, not communism. Russia's horrible on pot. They'll put you in prison for pot in Russia. You drink all the vodka you want, but you don't touch pot in Russia. They'll lock you up for good. That house has a big notice on it. Same with these door-to-door salesmen. Fuck off. I was fighting with them the other day again. They tried telling me, well, it's not, because I got a huge sign that says it's no soliciting. They tried telling me it's not soliciting because they're just trying to set up an appointment for a company to come in and do a free inspection. I said, that is soliciting an inspection. Just because it doesn't cost me money now, it's no different like saying that the cable guy that comes over is not soliciting when they don't charge you at the door, but they'll charge you when they install the cable. These fucking people are relentless, dude. Because it's all of us with no soliciting signs that don't have their products, so that we're continually on the list. I guarantee it. There's got to be a rhyme or a reason that they're always harassing me. And I had huge no trespassing signs up, like it was out in the middle of the woods, and it just made my house look so trashy. The neighbor didn't like it, and I was like, all right, I'll take it down. And right away, they're right after me again. No peace in my life. I have an extremely way too long video, just an update video, so there's nothing much going on in my life. Maybe I'll find something to do tomorrow. It's a Saturday. My dad's going to be in town. Maybe we'll find something to do I put on camera, but the only thing my dad does is want to go to the bars. There's nothing going on. I don't even know if I'll post this. If I do, you guys have a nice day, okay? Have a nice day for me. Don't get in too much trouble. But don't not get in any either.